I made a little poo-poo right here. It kind of sticks out. It's probably because I think we're building on the deck, so it's not maybe not completely leveled. So this part protrudes a little bit. Hey, what's up, reefers? As you can see, we have a bunch of 2x4s here. We are finally building the custom stand for the 150-gallon tank. I'm super excited. I have no idea what's going on. Today, my friend Clayton's coming over to help me build this because he has done it before. Clayton, you want to say hi to the guys right here?
Hey, I'm sorry for the drawing. Just when you see it, it's horrible. I'm not an artist.
Right here, we got our master plan on this awesome sketch.
Beautiful.
Excellent job. Would you like to explain a little bit about what's going on? But before that, let me just reiterate one more time. The tank is 4 foot, 48 by 2 foot. And the height is 30, which doesn't really matter at this case.
For the top, which the tank is actually going to be sitting on, it's going to be 48 inches, because that's how long the tank is. But when we're doing the side panels, we actually consider the width of the 2x4s, which are about 1.5 inches, because true 2x4s don't have, they're not actually 2 inches by 4 inches, they're about 1.5 inches by 3.5 inches.
Yeah, that I actually did not know, and I posted the 2x4 pictures on my Instagram, and somebody actually mentioned that you should measure it and you'd be surprised. I'm like, what do you mean? So when I measured it, holy crap, they're 1.5 by like 3.5 or 3.75 or something like that, and I was freaking out. I was like, did I get the wrong wood? Thankfully, somebody else chimed in saying that, okay, 2x4 is not true 2x4, and those are, you got the right ones. Those are what's considered 2x4. Sorry to jump in, but that, I shit my pants.
It's gonna be 1.5 inches that we have to take away from each side. So that's 3 inches minus 24, so that's 21. And then the height, this is gonna be like 30 inches because that's what he wanted. The 23-inch things, those are actually the supports, so that's what the weight of the tank is gonna be sitting on, because if we didn't have those, the weight of the tank would be sitting on the screws, which is really dangerous and a big risk, especially for that big of a tank, because with water and rocks and sand and everything, it's gonna weigh about 2,000 pounds, which is a lot for screws. So 3.5 inches on each side we have to take away, so it's gonna be 23 inches, and we're gonna have one on this side and then one on this side, so around the corners.
Got it.
Have extra support.
So two.
Yeah.
Two around the, got it.
Yeah, and that's pretty much it. It's a simple design. We got it from the king of do-it-yourself, Joey. So shout out to him.
Thank you so much, Joey.
Yeah. That's how I built my stand, and it's holding up really good. Knock on wood.
All right.
All right.
So I guess we're gonna start cutting some wood, and we'll go from there. So we marked down where we should cut, and we're gonna bring it a little bit over. As you say, like we gotta account for the blade width.
Yeah, we gotta account for the width of the blade when we're making this.
I totally did not expect that. See, there are a lot of little things I don't know. One thing I forgot to do. We gotta prop this side up a little bit, so when it drops, it doesn't go like this.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll slip some wood over here.
That was fun.
All right, is that fun? I was getting a little nervous.
We did it.
All right, so this is the guide that we're gonna keep. Yeah, so I kind of fudged it up because I didn't prop this end up, so it kind of just dropped, and when it dropped, it just splinters at the end. So right now I'm trying to prop it up a little bit, and using the first piece we cut, we marked it down here as a guide for the other 3 pieces. So I am definitely learning as I'm going along, which is cool because this is exactly why I want to build my own stand. And thank you to Clayton for the help. I'm trying to learn some basic woodworking, so this is great. We just came back from Home Depot, pick up the appropriate screw because I screwed it up, got the wrong type. But we also pick up this little guy right here.
That's supposed to be a pun.
And Clayton believed that this is like the best investment ever. It's like what, $9?
Yeah, this is nice. I should use this for mine.
So basically, it kind of locked it into like a right angle, right angle, 90 degrees angle, and you just kind of tighten it, and it just locks it in place. Oh, do you go back in reverse when you come back out, or you just straight out?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What kind of screw is this?
This is the 8 by 2.5 inches.
All right, 8 by 2.5 inches.
Yeah, so it'll go completely through this beam, and it'll stick really far into this one, so it's really sturdy.
We got the top done. Clayton is measuring again, double checking.
24 inches, perfect.
Awesome. So now we gotta just repeat the process for the bottom portion. All right, so what's next?
30-inch pieces.
30-inch, that's a full post on each corner.
This is the height of the aquarium. You can either do it this way or this way, whichever you prefer. Just for like extra support, we're gonna screw 2 in here, and 2 in on this side.
Okay.
So 4 screws going in.
Got it. All right, man. So the situation is like this. We need a clamp to clamp these together so it doesn't move, but I don't have one. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna sit in here. I'm gonna stick my foot in here and just lock it in place and pray to God that this is good enough, and we'll see how it goes. We're gonna do it kind of inappropriately.
It's a fitting name for your channel. Really gotta
All right.
if you've done it correctly, it should be a tight squeeze.
All right. Nice.
All right. See, now it actually looks like a stand.
All right. Right there is kind of a little gap. I guess once you screw it in, it's gonna be straight and true.
It'll be good.
Got it.
It's actually really sturdy. It's not wobbling at all, which is awesome.
Nice.
Just 2 screws right here and then 2 right here just for extra support. So we're just doing the same thing twice.
All right. So right here, I made a little poo-poo right here. It kind of sticks out. It's probably because I think we're building it on the deck, so it's not maybe not completely level. So this part protrude a little bit. So what we're gonna do now is just back out the screw, right?
Yeah, just back it out, lift it up a little bit, and then re-screw them in.
Yeah. So it should be a quick and easy fix.
Happens to the best of us.
Yep. All right. Let's do it. So we just really quickly just fix it. I thought it was gonna be a big deal. I was recording this up. No, super easy. Went right in.
All right, so we gotta take these 23-inch pieces. Let's do it on this side since it's closer to the camera. See, they don't really want to go in. You just gotta hammer them in because it's gonna be tight.
And we want it tight, right? Because these are the low bearing. These are the ones that's don't use a GoPro. I was like, what are you doing?
I was gonna use it.
No.
This is the most important step because these are gonna hold but so much of the weight. So if there's a step to not screw up, it is this step. Like, go very slow, go very thorough, and just make sure you do it like really well.
Got it. Thanks for the warning. It's hammer time. All right, so I'm gonna Clayton's gonna hammer in one of the support. There you go. Wait, should it be?
Yeah, I'm gonna back it up.
Oh, okay, all right.
This is like super tight.
Tight is good.
Nice and even. Nice and even. All right.
Excellent.
Yes.
All right, and then now we're gonna put some screws in it. We're gonna drill the pilot hole first.
Yep. So 2 screws right here, and then 2 screws up here. All right, now we're done.
Nice. All right, so that's this side right here. Next, we're gonna do the back side as well.
Yep.
And we're gonna screw it in the front as well, right?
Yeah, we're gonna screw the back side into here, and then we're gonna connect these 2 posts. So, yeah. Screw this side into here, and then connect these 2.
Got it.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm gonna have to cut all of these.
Oh shit. Oh, that's the one that's a little bit shorter, right? All right, no problem.
2,000 years later.
I never thought this hour would finally come. This is the last side panel to go in. All right, we're gonna watch Clayton drill because I don't think we actually showed. Okay, I'll show the bigger picture. So doing pilot holes.
Yep.
2 again.
And then we're connecting it on this side.
So we do them in pairs because so that it doesn't spin.
Yeah.
And then scrap the screws. And some of you guys may be wondering what's that at the end. It's an impact drill, so it kind of hammers as it gets to the end. So this makes drilling a lot easier. All right, last 2. Yep, last one. Here it is. Sealing the deal.
Sometime today. There we go. You want to do it since it's your stand?
Dude, you got it, man.
You sure?
All good. Yes.
And we
Nice
are
and
done.
deep. Woo! Yeah, oh my god. Oh, jeez.
We would have finished so much earlier if we didn't have to go back to Home Depot.
Oh, that is true. We did make a detour. I did make that goof. Okay, I think the final test, let's bring it in and see if it's how level it is.
Well, we gotta put your car on it.
Wait, what are these guys right here?
Oh, wait, those are the... We're not done.
Oh, shit!
We gotta put the supporter.
Oh, fuck.
We don't...
One eternity later.
We're measuring the tadpole tank to make sure it fits.
All right, final measurement just to make sure it's 48 on the money.
Yep. Nice, nice. It's always good to hear.
24 perfectly.
Yes. All right, now, so we're gonna add the brace and we're good to go.
One goes right here. Look at that. Slides in really nice.
Perfect.
We're gonna have to wedge that one in, but it goes right there.
Okay, just hammer it in. Got it. So that's top and bottom, right?
Yep.
We're measuring 16 inches, right?
Yeah.
16 from the edge to the center of this. 16, 16, 16 to kind of evenly space it out. That celebration was a little premature. We forgot the top and bottom brace, but these are the final 4 screw. I'll final 3 now. And seriously, these 90 degrees clamp is money well spent. These are like the MVP today. And really surprising, all the battery power drill, the Milwaukee's, they're lasting through the entire project.
Final time we're doing this.
Final one. Oh my God. Woo!
Do you want to do it? I'll film you doing it.
All right, if you don't mind.
All right, here.
You can grab yours too.
Yeah. I'm gonna be filming on mine too. I have a little GoPro, that's all I've got right now. All right guys, I am going to film Inappropriate Reefer finally putting in the last 2 screws while I'm filming on his camera, multi-filming. All right, last 2 screws.
All right. All day. I'm never doing this again. It's fun to learn, but holy crap. Woo! Oh, you have no hand to. All right.
We're done.
Oh man, no way.
Wait, we gotta do diagonal supports now on the 2 sides.
What?
No,
Shut up.
I'm kidding.
Shut up,
I'm kidding. What if you just like broke the 2 support beams?
Well, I'll rather break now
Yeah.
than with the tank on top. Because I'm what, $150, right?
Those things empty weigh like 200 pounds.
Yeah, so like if you cannot even hold 150.
Oh wait, yeah, true.
All right, guys, has been a long ass day, man. And thank you so much for Clayton for toughing it out with me. I was ready to quit a couple times. I was like, fuck, let's do it next week. Let's do it. Oh, no, but no. Overall, the stand has a tiny bit of wobble, but totally fine. You can rock it a little bit, totally fine. We'll just shim it a little bit.
Once the water, like once the tank is on it and the water hits it, it should wobble like a little bit. If not, it won't wobble at all.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, this is totally fine, totally acceptable. I think the idea is that we may add plywood, right?
Yeah.
Definitely inside for the sump.
Definitely.
We're gonna do a wrap, and then we may use a flamethrower to kind of chop the outside so it's waterproof. So that'll be interesting as well. But this is the important part. This is the structure. I know, Clint, you said you enjoyed it, right?
Yeah, that's fun. I mean, I like doing this, and I built my own stand too, so it's not that bad. It was easy.
I'm done, man. I'm totally not a DIY material guy, but that's why I'm so grateful he's here. Once again, I mean, what's your channel name? That I know it's a really new channel.
Yeah, it's Clayton Dean. I have like 2 subscribers. I think when I make my video, that'll be the first video you see on it.
You're gonna be talking about like aquarium stuff, right?
Yeah, aquarium stuff, and like if I'm doing something really cool, film that.
Awesome.
So you know, a little bit of everything.
I'm just tired, man. I don't even know what to say. I'm just rambling right now. Just
I'm a little bit tired too.
Yeah. Whew.
It's so humid out.
Yep. All right. Well, thank you again.
Yeah.
Job well done.
Hey, Inappropriate Reefer. So I've checked out the progress on your current 150-gallon stand build, and I think you're on a really good track. Although I have a couple comments and recommendations, so let me see if I can break those down for you. So after taking a look at your stand, I've determined that there's enough strength to support your stand, but because your 150 gallon is kind of atypical, and normally 150 gallons aren't really 48 inches long, they're more like 5 or even 6 feet long. So really, your build is more suited for something like a 75-gallon tank. So you really got double the load on what this kind of stand normally would see. Now, I've taken some weight assumptions, and it comes out to be roughly 2,000 pounds. It's probably a little bit less, but let's say 2,000 pounds. So doing some math, you come out with the fact that the deflection is roughly 1/4 of an inch. Now, 1/4 of an inch over time could sag even more and maybe become around 3/8 of an inch or even as much as 1/2 an inch. Now, as we all know, glass is really stiff, so it would actually crack trying to do that. So that's why we really want to try to keep these deflections low, maybe as little as 1/8 or even 1/16 of an inch. Now, I have a couple of options for you. The first option would be to add an additional post right in the center. Just a 2x4 post make sure it's nice and snug in there, and just use some brackets to secure those in place. Or you can just screw those in place as well. Now the second option is a little more demanding. You can remove your 2x4s that are running horizontally and replace them with maybe 2 2x6s or 1 2x8. But this is a little more difficult, so I really would recommend going with option 1. Now, I have a couple final recommendations. Number 1, perform one of the 2 options for deflection mitigation. So go with the post, or you can change the horizontal member size. Number 2 is you want to level both the top and the bottom of your stand with a sander, and then try to get it as level as possible to where you're placing it. That way you don't have to shim your stand later, which is going to be much more difficult on the late end. Then you want to add a layer of plywood on the top and potentially even the bottom. Screw those in place, and that will allow for some even load distribution, but also it'll prevent your tank from twisting, which is one of the biggest reasons why stands like this will fail. So make sure to put a plate on top, screw it all down, that way it won't twist. You want to make sure to put some plywood on the front or the back, as well as the sides, and secure those with screws. That'll prevent your tank from basically caving in on itself or sliding and breaking. Now, finally, what you want to do is figure out your tank location. The ideal position for the tank would be against a load-bearing wall with some floor joists below. Now, if you want to try to determine where your floor joists are running, try to use an algae magnet. That way you kind of locate the screws for where those are. Okay, so to sum it up real quick, option 1 or 2, level your tank, add some plywood on the top and the bottom, and the sides, and the back, and potentially even the front, and then you can cut some openings in it later. And then finally, you want to figure out your tank location, probably as close to a load-bearing wall as possible, with the floor joists running perpendicular to your tank. That way your tank sits on as many floor joists as possible. Okay, that basically sums it up. Let me know if you have any other questions.
Alright guys, so HobbySci has been helping me with the structural integrity of the stand that we built. Now he is also helping me double checking the floor to make sure the floor can support the tank, because the tank is actually 1 level up. So this is the basement, tank is on the 1st floor. So a Telegram also mentioned this. We want to double check to make sure the joust is running this way. So the tank sits across multiple jousts. HobbySci mentioned that, you could actually use something that you already have to check. Yes. Algae magnet. I was like, no way. What are you talking about? I thought he was pulling my leg, but I was like, you know what? I mean, he seems like a pretty serious guy, so let's try it. So I'll demonstrate right here. We're at the light, and I was just kind of running the magnet, and freaking sure enough, like certain spots, the magnet actually stays. So apparently the magnet in our algae scraper is actually stronger than whatever they got in the stuff finder, which this is kind of blew my mind. So there's something here as well. Actually, it's probably strongly here. So with the magnetic scraper over my head, I feel like we may be in good shape. I think the joust is actually running horizontal to the tank, so I think we may be good. But I'm gonna double check, because I know Telegram's gonna come over and help out with just double checking deflection on the floor and stuff like that. Make sure it's sound, just double checking everything. But when it's here, we're gonna do this test again to make sure I didn't miss anything, because honestly, all these are super new to me. So I'm so grateful of every single one of you guys to helping me out with all the suggestions and helping me, leading the way, teaching me how to do certain things and double checking all the stuff that I'm doing. People say that it takes a village to raise somebody, to raise a kid, right? I feel like it's taking a village to help me get this 150 gallon up and running. And I am just super grateful. I feel so fortunate to have all these guys, all of you guys, to jump in and help. Well, let's continue the journey. Goodbye, Pecco $14 tank. You have served me well, and I have done you wrong.